As many of you know, it has been incredibly hard to get one's hands on any eMTB or really bike in general during the run of this pandemic. This has been on our minds a lot at Fly Rides as we approach 2021 with 2021 models coming out and as we have some 2020 models left over. We wanted to do a video that was going to let you know which electric bike, not that you even should buy right now, but that you could buy right now. As I was planning this video and starting to shoot it, our friends over at eMountainBike magazine put out a survey that detailed the most popular and hottest brands of 2020 and then moving into 2021 as voted on by their readers. 13,000 people took time out of their day to let eMountainBike magazine know, and the rest of the world, what brands actual eMTB riders were excited about. That means people like you. We were super stoked to find out that we carry the 3 top brands that people are excited about. That being Specialized, Haibike, and Cube. So with that in mind, I decided to pivot a little bit and let you know some bikes that you can get from these top 3 brands right now. So we are starting out with the out-and-out winner of this survey, and that is Specialized. Specialized was voted by readers both the best brand of 2020 and the brand that readers were most likely to buy next. The bike we're featuring that you can get right now is the Specialized Turbo Levo Comp, the 2021 edition. Now we've got a full review on this bike, so if you want to see that, go ahead and click above right now. But if you just want to hear some quick specs and a little bit of a breakdown of the bike, here's what we got on it. You got the Shimano SLX M7100 12-speed drivetrain on here, which partners with the Bros S Mag motor, 90 Newton meters of torque, 250 watts, a Class 1 eMTB classic. It's got the magnesium casing, which keeps it nice and light, and that is a ton of power going through that motor. And for those of you who are wondering, we get questions all the time in the comments on Specialized reviews. If that Bros update has made a difference in terms of the reliability of the Bros S Mag, the answer is yes. We have seen a significant drop-off in Bros motors coming in after they get that update that's meant to keep them from being in the shop all the time. So get that update done. If you have not done it, the 2021 will come with it. Suspension-wise, you are getting an FSR linkage system, no surprise there, of course, and you are getting an upgrade this year in comparison to the 2020 edition of the Turbo Levo Comp with a Fox Float 36 Rhythm fork, grip damper on that, and a Fox Float DPS in the back. That is a 160 millimeter travel fork in the front and a 150 in the back. We had Hector test ride this bike this year because he test rode the 2020 and he said it felt more lightweight, more nimble, and just an overall better performing bike from the 2020 edition. So the 2021 Turbo Levo Comp, we definitely expect to move probably even faster than it did last year. This bike was already hard to keep in stock in early 2020, and now the 2021 edition with the bike boom and also the fact that it is one of the most popular bike brands in the world is almost certainly going to mean that this bike will be hard to find sometime soon. So if you're interested in this bike, I would get your hands on one ASAP. If you're looking for an upgrade from the Specialized Turbo Levo Comp, of course you have got the Specialized Turbo Levo Expert Carbon this year. I have got a full review on it right here. We had Austin take this bike out and he was absolutely ripping on it. So go watch that full review. You are getting upgrades in the areas you would expect to get upgrades: the suspension, the drivetrain, and the brakes on that Specialized Turbo Levo Expert Carbon. Next up on the list, we have got Haibike. Haibike was one of the original high-quality eMTB partners. With their initial partnership with Bosch, especially in the States, they were really the first people to come in and actually have a quality eMTB. They have kept people's attention this year with a very impressive 2021 lineup, but their 2020 bikes are nothing to stick your nose up to either. The bike you can grab right now in the States from Haibike is the Haibike XDURO Enduro 2.0. This is a high-quality Enduro eMTB with 180 millimeters of travel in the front on a Yari RC fork and a RockShox Deluxe Select Plus in the back. In addition to this suspension setup, you have got a SRAM SX 12-speed derailleur on there. That is on an 11 to 50 tooth cassette in the back. This model is very similar to a bike that is pretty low in stock right now, but you might be able to find a few here and there, and that is the AllMtn 2.0. Our COO is a big fan of the AllMtn 2.0. He has been riding. One of the nice things about both the AllMtn 2.0 and the Enduro 2.0 is that there is some nice room for suspension upgrades and other upgrades as well, because it's a pretty low price point for a high quality eMTB at $46.99. Of course, the Enduro 2.0 is going to be the more aggressive of the two bikes. It's going to be more for downhill, straight line speeds, some big hits you can take on this bike, whereas the AllMtn 2.0 is going to be more of an all-around trail bike. But I would say that both of these bikes are pretty approachable for riders of all skill levels. The next brand we're going to feature is the brand that was voted the third best eMTB brand of 2020, and that is Cube. We have been huge fans of Cube eMTBs since we started carrying them back in 2019, and this brand has led the way in terms of Bosch eMTBs every single year in our opinion. They have a very approachable price point. You are frequently paying a couple of $1,000s less than some of the bigger name brands like Trek. I don't know how Cube keeps their price point so low. Where Cube was a little bit lower on the list in eMountainBike magazine's ratings was the brand that people were expected to buy next. And here's why I think you should be buying a Cube bike next. Like I mentioned before, you will be hard-pressed to find a Bosch Generation 4 eMTB for the price point of most of these Cube bikes. The Cube bike I am most excited about this year is the Cube Stereo Hybrid 140 HPC Race. Now you are seeing footage right now for the 2020 Cube Stereo Hybrid 140 HPC Race, so I haven't gotten to ride one of the 2021s quite yet, but looking at it, there's no reason that it's not going to be as good or better than the 2020 edition. What I'm most excited about for the 2021s is that they are offering an extra small frame this year. Almost no eMTB company right now provides frames for female, younger, and shorter riders in general, and Cube is finally taking a step forward and making really good bikes available for riders who are a little bit shorter. The Race is the entry-level model for the Stereo Hybrid series. You are getting a RockShox 35 silver fork and a RockShox Deluxe in the back, pretty standard for an eMTB of this level, a SRAM NX Eagle 12-speed derailleur, and also, of course, a Bosch Generation 4 CX motor. That is now coming with 85 Nm of torque, of course, with that update earlier in the year, and it is just as reliable as always. Bosch, to me, is still the most reliable motor on the market. This is definitely more of Cube's Trail AllMtn series. Of course, you can get the 160 series as well, which is going to be a little bit more of an enduro bike. Those also have some incredible options this year, which we will be reviewing shortly, and I cannot wait. Check out the full Cube lineup in our Cube lineup review video if you have not seen that yet, but I'm hoping by the time this video is published, I will already have ridden a few of the Cube Stereo Hybrid bikes. So those are the bikes from the 3 most popular brands as voted on by readers of eMountainBike magazines that we can get you on right now. Keep in mind that inventory is rapidly changing throughout the entire cycling industry, so these ones could be gone pretty quickly. If you like any of these, make sure to watch the full reviews. You can also see the specs completely by clicking on the links below. I would also highly recommend going to check out the eMountainBike magazine article on their survey, which we have linked in the description below, because it does have a lot of interesting information in terms of what's popular and what people are looking for. For instance, I thought it was funny that Specialized was far and away like the winner of the best brand and also the brand that people were going to buy next, but then Bosch also crushed Bros in terms of the motor people were most excited about. So it was very interesting, and if you are interested in where the e-bike industry is going, it's a good idea to look at these surveys because I'm sure these brands are going to be looking at stuff like this to inform their decisions on how they're building bikes and what bikes they're going to be building next. Thanks for watching, you guys. We will see you next time, and until then, enjoy the ride.